What happens when 6 years of secret glances, whispered promises, and unshakable love finally reach their grand finale? The wedding of the century has arrived. Lee Jun-ho and Yoon-ah have turned their long-lasting romance into a breathtaking fairy tale in the heart of Seoul. From hidden moments to dazzling adieu, their love story has captivated millions. Join red carpet revealed as we uncover every dramatic twist, every emotional detail, and the secrets behind this unforgettable celebration. Let's dive in right now. What happens when 6 years of whispered secrets, hidden glances, and unshakable devotion finally break free under the brightest lights of Seoul? The answer came on a golden autumn afternoon, when Lee Jun-ho and Yoon-ah, of South Korea's most beloved stars, sealed their love story in what is already being called the wedding of the century. Long before the cameras flashed and the grand doors opened, this was a story born in silence, nurtured in shadows, and tested against the unrelenting spotlight of celebrity life. For years, they walked parallel roads as colleagues, co-stars, and cultural icons, while in truth they were building something far deeper, something that would culminate in a single I do that shook the entertainment world. The seeds of this love story were planted in the unlikeliest of gardens, a bustling entertainment industry where idols were expected to remain flawless, available, and untouched by personal desire. Lee Jun-ho, a sharp and charismatic member of 2PM, had steadily transformed into one of Korea's most respected actors, proving his depth in acclaimed dramas like The Red Sleeve. Yoon-ah, who had conquered the world as a member of Girls' Generation before claiming her own place in film and television, was equally untouchable in the public eye. When they first crossed paths at industry events, the chemistry was unmistakable. But in an industry where relationships could destroy careers overnight, discretion was not just preferred, it was survival. Whispers began almost immediately. A fan photo here, a suspiciously aligned schedule there. When the two were spotted at the same cafe, social media erupted with speculation. Yet every time, their agencies denied, their colleagues kept quiet, and the couple retreated behind carefully constructed walls of professionalism. What the world did not see was the bond forming in private, the shared laughs after exhausting shoots, the comfort of phone calls in the middle of the night, the way two people could simply breathe easier when in each other's presence. Behind the glittering facade, they were quietly choosing each other over and over again. Maintaining that choice was no small feat. For 6 years, they lived under the constant threat of exposure. Every outing was calculated, every public moment scrutinized. There were rumors that they would disguise themselves with masks and caps to slip into small restaurants in non-trendy districts of Seoul. At times, they relied on trusted friends and family to create diversions, arranging meetings in private villas or overseas trips disguised as work. It was a double life, one that could have broken weaker bonds. Yet for Jun-ho and Yoon-ah, it only seemed to strengthen the connection. Their secret anniversaries were celebrated with small, heartfelt gifts rather than grand gestures. Handwritten note, a shared song, a hidden ring exchanged in silence, all became their language of love. But love tested by secrecy is also love hardened by sacrifice. There were moments when silence felt unbearable. When Jun-ho's popularity soared after his drama success, questions about his love life dominated interviews. He would smile, deflect, and speak of work, all while thinking of the woman watching from afar. Yoon-ah, hailed as Korea's eternal girl next door, carried the burden of fan expectations as she transitioned into mature acting roles. Each time a tabloid tried to link her with another co-star, she had to endure the sting of invisibility, unable to acknowledge the man who truly held her heart. It was a game of patience, and patience in the entertainment world is not for the faint of heart. The turning point, according to insiders, came not from the media but from their families. Both had quietly introduced each other to their parents in private meetings that, at the time, were dismissed as friendly gatherings. Who attended whispered of warmth and acceptance, of laughter around dinner tables and quiet conversations about the future. The couple began speaking openly, at least within those circles, of marriage, not as a distant dream, but as an inevitability. One source described seeing Yoon-ah wearing a delicate ring during a private trip abroad, a ring she quickly removed in public but which was rumored to be Jun-ho's promise of forever. By the 5th year of their romance, even the agencies could no longer deny what was obvious. Managers, stylists, and crew members had long known of the relationship but protected it fiercely. Still, the industry's ruthless rhythm made them hesitate. A public revelation could derail contracts, spark fan backlash, shape careers overnight. Yet the couple seemed determined to take control of their narrative. Fans recall Jun-ho telling them, "I don't want us to keep hiding forever. At some point, love has to stand in the open." Yoon-ah, equally resolute, is said to have agreed, "If we've made it this far, then we're strong enough for the world." When the announcement finally came, it was nothing short of an earthquake. Headlines screamed of the shock. Nation's couple revealed, Lee Jun-ho and Yoon-ah to wed. Social media exploded with hashtags, fan art, emotional posts that ranged from disbelief to pure joy. Some fans confessed to crying, unable to imagine their idols in love with each other, yet gradually overwhelmed by happiness. Others expressed pride, calling it a fairy tale that felt more genuine than any scripted drama. And then came the preparations, the feverish weeks in which Seoul became the center of the entertainment universe. The wedding was scheduled for autumn, a season that in Korea is often associated with renewal, harmony, and golden beginnings. Every detail was kept under the tightest security. Yet rumors spread like wildfire. Which designer would dress Yoon-ah? Would Jun-ho's 2 p.m. brothers perform? Would Girls' Generation reunite for the occasion? Which A-list actors would attend? And would foreign stars fly in to witness the reunion? Brands reportedly fought for the chance to be associated with the wedding, knowing that the ripple effect of Jun-ho and Yoon-ah's influence could bring billions of won in publicity. Hotels prepared for international guests, while fans organized online streaming parties, hoping for even the smallest glimpse of the ceremony. The build-up was unlike anything seen in modern Korean entertainment. For weeks, the couple's every move was dissected. Yoon-ah appeared at an airport in a white dress. Speculation soared that it was a secret pre-wedding shoot. Ho was spotted leaving a luxury jewelry store. The internet nearly collapsed with theories about final ring fittings. All of it led to one day, one moment when two paths finally merged into one. And it arrived, on a crisp autumn day, beneath a sky painted in soft gold and pale blue. Seoul held its breath. Guests began arriving at a grand hall, chosen not just for its luxury, but for its privacy and symbolism. Paparazzi lined the streets. Fans crowded barricades. Hum of anticipation pulsed like electricity. At last, after 6 years of silence, the world was about to witness history. The doors opened, music swelled, and time seemed to stop. When the grand doors swung open, the world seemed to inhale as one. Cameras flashed, the music swelled, and into the golden glow of chandeliers stepped a vision of pure grace. Yoon-ah, dressed in a gown that seemed spun from light itself, moved forward like the heroine of every romance Korea had ever dreamed of, designed by an internationally acclaimed couturier. Shimmered with delicate crystal details that caught the glow of hundreds of candles. The train flowed behind her like a river of silk. Her face was a smile both fragile and triumphant, the smile of a woman who had endured 6 years of secrecy and sacrifice, only to emerge into the open air of love fulfilled. Waiting at the end of the aisle was Lee Jun-ho, his tuxedo tailored to perfection, his posture straight yet trembling with emotion. Known for his composure on stage and screen, his mask had fallen. Tears glistened in his eyes as he watched Yoon-ah take each step closer, each movement bringing the promise of forever within reach. Guests later said they had never seen Jun-ho look more human, more vulnerable, more utterly in love. Yoon-ah finally reached him. The hall erupted in applause that could barely drown out the sound of their pounding hearts. The ceremony unfolded like a symphony of emotions. Friends, family, and colleagues filled the room, their presence transforming the event into a gathering of Korea's entertainment royalty. Girls' Generation members, in elegant gowns, wiped away tears as they watched their sister walk into a new chapter. The men of 2 p.m. stood proud, some grinning, some openly crying, all of them silently cheering for the brother who had once joked about marriage but had always kept his heart locked away. Actors, producers, and fellow actors who had worked alongside the couple filled the seats, their applause echoing with both admiration and respect. The guest list read like the credits of a blockbuster drama. Tonight the spotlight belonged only to 2 people. Vows were nothing short of cinematic. Jun-ho, voice unsteady but firm, spoke of patience, gratitude, and the courage Yoon-ah had given him. Confessed that every role he had played, every award he had won, had been easier to bear because she had been there. in the shadows. He promised to protect not only her but the quiet bond they had built. And now ready to be shared with the world. Yoon-ah. Her voice trembling like the strings of a violin. Jun-ho, her best friend, her anchor. And the love who had never let go of her hand even when they were forced to walk in silence. He spoke of long nights when his voice was the only thing keeping her steady. And she ended with words that silenced the hall. From this day forward, I no longer walk behind you or beside you, I walk with you, always. Tears streamed down cheeks across the room. Held hands tightly. Friends sobbed into tissues. Even the most hardened journalists admitted to feeling their eyes sting. The officiant declared them husband and wife. When Jun-ho lifted Yoon-ah's veil to kiss her, the hall exploded with applause, cheers. A flurry of camera flashes that captured a moment destined for history books. For a brief instant, time itself seemed to bow, acknowledging the triumph of love over fear, of truth over secrecy. What followed was a reception that glittered as brightly as the couple's smiles. The banquet hall transformed into a dreamscape of roses, orchids, and soft golden lights. Long tables overflowed with gourmet delicacies prepared by world-renowned chefs, each dish symbolizing prosperity and harmony. Yet the food, though exquisite, only a backdrop to the performances that turned the reception into a stage worthy of legends. First came 2 p.m., reuniting in full force to dedicate a ballad to their brother. Their harmonies filled the room with both nostalgia and sincerity, reminding everyone of the boy who had once danced in arenas but who now stood as a man beside his bride. Then Girls' Generation, with pride, took to the stage. They sang not as idols, but as sisters, their voices carrying love and farewell. Yoon-ah's journey into a new chapter. Guests swayed, cried, and clapped, realizing they were witnessing a once-in-a-lifetime moment, two of K-pop's greatest legacies intertwining not just in music, but in life. Celebrity speeches added layers of humor and warmth. Senior actor teased Jun-ho for his once infamous beast idol image, joking that he had finally been tamed. Another recalled Yoon-ah's kindness on set, saying that if anyone deserved a happy ending, it was her. Laughter and tears mingled as the night deepened. When the couple took to the dance floor for their first dance, the entire hall seemed to hold its breath once more. Every step, every twirl, every gaze locked between them. They painted a picture of devotion so raw it silenced even the loudest cameras. Outside the venue, the world was already reacting in real time. Social media feeds were flooded with posts, hashtags, and videos. Within minutes, phrases like Yoon-ah Jun-ho wedding and wedding of the century trended worldwide. Fans across continents held live watch parties, as if they too were seated in the hall. Some confessed heartbreak, decades of idol worship colliding with reality, yet most expressed overwhelming joy, calling the wedding proof that true love could survive even the harshest spotlight. News outlets compared the event to royal weddings. It's South Korea's own fairy tale come true. Economic ripple effect was immediate. Fashion brands released statements boasting of their connection to the couple's attire. Luxury hotels associated with the wedding were instantly booked for months. Advertisers scrambled to sign the newlyweds, predicting that their joint power could rival entire entertainment conglomerates. Analysts estimated the couple's influence could generate billions of won in endorsements, tourism, and cultural exports. For Jun-ho and Yoon-ah, the night was not about numbers, it was about finally being able to stand together without fear. As the reception drew to a close, slipped away under a canopy of sparklers held by friends and family. Rumors swirled that they would honeymoon abroad, perhaps in Europe or a private island in the Maldives. Yet the truth of their destination mattered little. What mattered was that for the first time in 6 years, they could hold hands in public, without glancing over their shoulders, and wake up each morning as husband and wife. Their future, once uncertain, now stretched before them like the city lights of Seoul, endless, shimmering, full of promise. The aftermath was as dramatic as the event itself. The days that followed, magazines released special editions, television shows replayed clips endlessly, and fans dissected every detail from the flowers to the guest list. Fellow idols and actors posted heartfelt messages online, praising the couple's courage. Even political figures weighed in, calling the wedding a cultural moment that united the nation. In coffee shops, offices, and schools, conversations revolved around only one topic, the love story that had ended in vows. And yet, beneath the spectacle, color remained profoundly simple. This was the story of two people who had chosen each other, again and again, even when the world demanded they choose otherwise. 6 years of secrecy had forged a bond unbreakable by scandal or scrutiny. By stepping into the light, they had not only liberated themselves but also offered hope to others in similar positions, proof that love could endure even in the harshest glare. As they settled into married life, speculation about their future grew. Would they continue acting? Would music still play a role? Would they start a family soon? Or wait as their careers soared higher? Insiders hinted that both were determined to balance personal and professional lives, proving that happiness did not require sacrifice. Already, rumors of new projects swirled, with fans excited to see them shine individually while also cherishing their union. In the end, the question posed at the beginning found its answer. What happens when 6 years of hidden love finally step into the spotlight? You get a wedding that transcends celebrity, a celebration that becomes part of cultural memory. A moment when even the most jaded skeptics believe again in fairy tales. For Lee Jun-ho and Yoon-ah, the wedding of the century was not just the end of a love story, it was the beginning of an eternity. 6 years in the shadows, in the spotlight, a lifetime to shine together. And as the last echoes of their vows linger in the hearts of millions, one truth becomes undeniable: the world may have witnessed a wedding, but what it truly saw was the triumph of love itself. So, with hearts still trembling from the magic of the moment, we close the curtain on this unforgettable chapter. Wedding of the century has proven that even in the dazzling chaos of fame, true love can stand tall, brighter than any spotlight. Lee Jun-ho and Yoon-ah's 6-year journey, marked by silence, courage, and devotion, now blossoms into a forever written not in secrecy but in celebration. Thank you, dear viewers, for walking this path with us, for sharing the emotions, the excitement, and the wonder. Stay tuned, because here at Red Carpet Revealed, the stories never end. Stars always have more secrets to unveil. Next time, we bid you farewell with gratitude in our hearts. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Join us again for the next breathtaking revelation. The red carpet is always waiting for you.